We have a lot of fighting games coming out this year. Games like Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and apparently Mortal Kombat 12 was announced, but I'm not sure if that's going to come out later this year, but that's neither here nor there. The conversation that I'm proposing here today is that I believe that fighting games should be free, or at least free to play. I know very popular YouTuber Maximilian Dude made this video already, but like the only reason why he was talking about video games should be free was because, well, it'll reach like a larger audience. Games like what was it called, Brawlhalla? Brawlhalla has like 20,000 monthly players because the game is supposedly free, which is a really decent point because when you think about it, games like Street Fighter have become super easy to play. If you remember the Moment 37 moment, I just said moment twice, with the Daigo parry, it was kind of like a very big moment at that time because that was like a very difficult move to pull off. People later have done the same Daigo parry, like in Street Fighter Five, without even like having to like think about it. They just tap the button, the parry button, to like a certain rhythm, and then they're able to just do the combo really easily. So if they're already going to make the game like easier for people to come in and play it, which isn't a big deal, especially with like Street Fighter Six having like little buttons, not buttons, but like very simple controls where it's like forward triangle, you'll do like a Hadoken because apparently some people can't do quarter circles. I don't know how that's possible. And then just make the game free because us fighting game players know that these games are a lot easier than what they used to be. But like the people who have never played them will never know because they will never make that commitment to play the game because they have to pay $60 for it or 70 now. But for me, I propose that video games, fighting games, should be free is because of how they handle the roster and the characters. The game is already $70, and then you want me to pay 20 for a season pass for more characters, 5 characters that should have been out when the game was first released. In this Street Fighter picture right here, this is like a breakdown, like prices and like the seasons or whatever. You can see like in the center part here, like this was the base game. It's like 16 characters. It's pretty decent. It wasn't this big when it was on launch day. When it was on launch day, it was like what 4 or 5 characters. But that's neither here nor there. They add those 10 more characters. So you buy the base game at $60, and then after that you buy the next 5 season passes that comes out. That's what 5 times 20. That's 100. So congratulations, you spent $160 on a video game that was only 60. I don't really understand why fighting games do this. Like unlocking stuff was like so much better back then. Constantly playing as Ryu, trying to unlock like Sakura or Akuma, and then after Akuma, Goken. It was like so much more fun and actually had you play the game a lot more than just trying to be a good player at the game. It was like now you have something to actually look forward to as opposed to what trying to beat your friends in like what meaningless battles. I'd argue that that would even ruin like the gaming experience as a whole. Doing it this way is kind of weird. I mean, like think about it for a second. Majority of the top tier characters in like games like this are usually the characters that came out like way later in the game's history. Look at Dragon Ball Fighters for example. Here's the base roster, right? And you can probably already tell how many more characters they added if you actually played the game. And it's like there's so many more characters in there, and like the top players play characters like Super Broly, which didn't come out until like what 4 years after the game was released. I don't know when. I just said a year, but you get what I mean. Super Broly is like UI Goku, uh, the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. It's like those are like the top tier characters. You're gonna always see those characters at like the top tier level of play. People complain that Android 21, the lab coat variation, was super difficult to fight against. It was very annoying and needed a nerf. This is mainly because she's literally the last character that was added to the game. So all they really have to do is just like make the games free to play. Don't have like a full game behind a paywall. Release the game as it would be. You have your base 16 characters that you can play as, and then next season you pay $20 and you get another 5 characters. You'll be spending a lot less money. And then if they want to make even more money, they can just add a battle pass system. It wouldn't be that big a deal in the grand scheme of things. Let's be honest. Battle pass systems are not that toxic. We look at microtransactions in games and think to ourselves like this is a bad thing. We shouldn't have any of this. But really, in all actuality, it's not that big a deal. Like, you don't have to like buy anything in any of these games. It, it doesn't really matter. I mean, like they can do that for like new skins, emotes, and colors and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not sure how that would work out with like a game like Tekken, but I can easily see that happening with Mortal Kombat 12 and Street Fighter 6. They can easily do that, and it will make arguably the experience so much better. Not only will they have a lot of easy access for a lot of new players coming in with easier controls that they can use, there's no more paywall, so therefore more people are gonna straight up just decide to bite the bullet and actually give Street Fighter a fucking chance or Mortal Kombat a chance. And if they like it, they have something to look forward to, and the chances of them spending more money is a lot higher because like, oh, more characters in this game that I tried that I ended up liking, are they're gonna add more characters to it? Well, of course I'm going to spend $20 and buy 5 characters for this game. Of course they're going to do that. Anyways, that's really it. That's basically the conversation. That's my points, arguments, whatever you want to say. If you agree, tell me. If you agree, like the video. If you don't agree, well, tell me why, and then like the video or dislike the video. It doesn't really matter. Nothing matters.